Good morning, Senator Winfield, Stanford Ranking Member Senator Kissel, and Representative Fishbein, and to all the members of the Judiciary Committee. And always a pleasure to see you, Representative Porter. My name is Curtis B. Hudson, and that stands for Biblical. I am from New Haven, and I'm a smart justice leader in ACLU, Connecticut. I'm here to testify of the House Resolution 171, which is proposed an amendment to the State Committee to revise requirements relating to offering a bail. I was locked up 59 days here in Connecticut for something I did not do recently. I'm here not to talk about my case, but I'd like to share a little experience regarding my bail was set at $75,000. The charges I was arrested for should not have been received a bail such high as it was. The prosecutor said, due to the crime of my history and overwhelming evidence, the bail would not be lowered. I reached out to my pastor and friends to let them know that what I was going through, and I reached out to a bondsman. Now you have to find the right bondsman with the right percentage, the lowest percentage, and I was told I needed to have 2 co-signers. In the meantime, I was reminiscing in there, and I'm saying to myself, I'm a 64-year-old man. I was like a fish out of water. I didn't get my correct medication. I was woke up at 3 a.m. in the morning to be tested for my blood pressure. I'm an old man now, and if I did not realize that at this time, I know it now. Hey, now. I miss Thanksgiving, Christmas, and I barely have any communication with the public defender. And when my people tried to get in touch with him, he wouldn't call them back. If I had been able to pay my bail, I would have been better able to defend myself correctly of this injustice that was being done to me. But even when I went to court, there was given a 2-month continuance between appearances. Now that's outlandish, crazy. I could not believe what was happening to me. Now obviously I'm free now, God bless, but here's the reality check. In order to make bail, I needed 2 co-signers. I paid someone to be a co-signer. I had to pay twice to get out of the county jail, and now I am in debt, and that debt has an interest on it. I surely do. The bail system does not work for anyone, but particularly for people who have small resources of money and afford their freedom, especially for people who look like me. I urge the members of the committee to support HJ 171 and would be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Comment or question from members of the committee? Comment or question from members of the committee, Representative Fishbein.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Curtis. How are you?
Aloha.
So, that case is still pending, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I just, and I don't want to I certainly don't want to talk about what you're accused of or, all that stuff. But just bring me through the process. So you're sitting here today. I mean, look at what I'm looking at. The $75,000 bond did not get reduced. So how are you able to be here today?
I'm able to be here today by really a cash bond.
Okay. So you were able to get those 2 people. You were able to hook up with a bail bondsman at a percentage rate that was acceptable to you. So tell me more about that.
Well, to be frank with you, I'm on disability. And if it wasn't for those checks, I really wouldn't be out, because as I said, I'm 64 years old. How many people do I really have behind me?
So I'm just trying to drill down into your personal involvement with this situation. So what percent did you work with your bail bondsman?
The lowest that I could get, about 3% or 35. Okay,
so on a $75,000 bond, you gave the bail bondsman how much money?
I gave him, or her rather, $1,500 and had to give someone else $500.
Okay, so you had to the 500 was so that, what was that necessary for?
To pay somebody to be my co-signer.
Okay, and what kind of individual was that?
I heard that. That was someone I didn't know.
Okay, so they didn't know you either.
They didn't know me either.
Okay, so they're co-signing, what is the purpose of their co-signature? What are they attesting? If they don't know you, right? What are they signing off on?
To get that $500.
Okay, I'm just looking at the system, right? So, you know, our judicial system says you've been accused of a crime, you're going to be incarcerated unless you can give the court system $75,000, essentially. That's where you
Yes.
start. So it's like, how do we put this puzzle together? So you hook up with a bail bondsman, they charge you a certain amount, you're required to come up with $1,500, and they essentially front most of the balance, right, to the judicial system. I'm just trying to get that co-signer, is that as to your worthiness, your honesty? What is that? I'm trying to figure out, what is that person co-signing onto?
Well, basically, in layman terms, the best that I can say again is he signed up for the $500. I didn't know him. He's anonymous to me. I can't break his anonymity. But the moral of the story is, I'm glad that the system was crooked as it is.
No, I understand. Is it two bail bondsmen working together to come up with the 75 grand? Is that?
No, it was one bondsman, but I had to essentially find somebody to co-sign for me, because who wants to co-sign for you and put $75,000 up if I run or something? I mean, I'm 64. Where am I going?
No, I understand. Okay. I'm just looking at the system, right? Because we hear a lot about the system. And we passed a law last year trying to address portions of the system. And this is part of information gathering. So thank you, Curtis, for coming here today. Thank you,
Likewise.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Representative Porter.
Thank you, Mr. Chin. Thank you for your testimony. Sorry that you're having to endure this throughout this system, but I do have one question. How did you come to the person and maintaining anonymity? Was this how did you come to this person, basically?
By another inmate. They have they have bail bondsmen on the wall. And you go around, so someone said, Curtis, you have money. Why don't you, he can hook you up with a co-signer.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Representative Porter. Comment or question from members of the committee? Comment or question? If not, Mr. Hudson, it's good to see you again. Thank you for joining
Likewise.
us.